Yeah, we are live now.
Yeah, good evening and a warm welcome to everybody. I'm Dania, and I have come here. We are live again today at mHealth with Dr. Ashwini Sadhu. She's a PhD in nutrition, and she will be talking to us about the relationship of nutrients. This is the topic for the day. So an interesting topic. I hope we are all, she will give us a lot of insights into what relationships different nutrients share in our body. So just be with us, and I'm sure a lot of learnings. Welcome, Ashwini.
Thank you, Dania ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Ashwini Sadhu, health coach, and I welcome you all on the behalf of mHealth. And today's topic of our discussion is relationship of nutrients. So here, basically, when we talk about nutrients, हमारे ध्यान में क्या आता है? What we think about? What are the nutrients? So there are certain very common name जो हमारे दिमाग में आते हैं. वो है carbohydrate, proteins, fat, minerals, vitamins. Okay, all these nutrients comes जब भी हम सोचते हैं कि nutrients के बारे में. Okay, पर हमें इतना ही पता होता है कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट वेट रिड्यूस करना है तो हमें कार्बोहाइड्रेट कम लेने हैं, प्रोटीन की मात्रा ठीक लेनी है, फैट वी हैव टू रिड्यूस, बट वी नेवर थिंक अबाउट द विटामिन्स एंड मिनरल्स. Okay, nowadays even you are consulting with any of the health coach, then they are even talking about the water intake. या फिर सबको पता है कि नहीं 2 से 2.5 लीटर पानी तो पीना ही है दिन भर में. So we are thinking about all these nutrients. But now today what we are going to discuss about the relationship in between these nutrients. जैसे हमारे भी relatives होते हैं, ये सब आपस में relatives है. Okay, carbohydrate है, protein है, fats है, vitamins है, minerals है, they all are the relatives. Okay, और ये सारे इकट्ठा काम करते हैं. And when we are talking about that they are working together, that means what exactly they are doing. So we need to think about when we are eating these nutrients in the form of food. How do we eat it? हम कैसे खाते हैं इन्हें? हम जब खाना खाते हैं, we are getting these nutrients. Okay, whatever we are eating, we are eating fruits in a day, we are eating vegetables in a day. या हम जो भी खाना खा रहे हैं, that time we are getting all these nutrients. Okay, फिर इन nutrients का digestion होता है, इस nutrients का absorption होता है, और फिर the body utilizes this nutrient for different purpose. Okay, so different purposes like protein is utilized for the growth purpose, carbohydrate is utilized for energy purpose. Okay, so this way it is utilized. So जब हम बात कर रहे हैं digestion, absorption and utilization की, so are they only working nutrients? Like जैसे हमने आज carbohydrate खा लिया, so सिर्फ carbohydrate ही काम कर रहा है? No, here comes under के how it works. They work together. How do they work? They work together. Okay, like for example जब हम carbohydrate की बात करें, हमने carbohydrate तो खा लिया, we are saying that carbohydrate is giving us energy. But how does we are getting energy? Because that the carbohydrate is utilized, that is digested, that is absorbed, that means the metabolism has takes place in our body. And that after that carbohydrate our body is utilizing as an energy purpose. But for that metabolism, vitamins and minerals are very, very important for carbohydrate to metabolize, because vitamins and minerals has certain enzymes, certain hormones which helps carbohydrate to digest.
The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold. Please stay on the line.
Tanya, are you able to listen my voice?
Yes.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, you're audible. Only thing, I think there's some disturbance with.
Okay,
Yeah,
no issues.
you can continue. Yeah.
Okay. So second again, protein. Are the protein working alone? No. Again, the protein are getting combined with some of the nutrients. And then, for example, when we talk about hemoglobin. So what is hemoglobin? That is heme plus globin, and that globin is again a protein and heme is a mineral, that is iron. So then we called it as a hemoglobin. It's a combined word, hemoglobin. So that means again they are working together with one of the minerals. Okay, so this way all these nutrients are basically working together. Then again here, when we talk about water, water is, we consider it as very, very important nutrient. So when we talk about even the water, how the water helps, can your body able to digest your food without water? No. So that's why again it is important and they are working together. That's why today we are discussing about the interrelationship of all these nutrients. So when we talk about that these nutrients are working together, okay, so one nutrient is depending on the other. मतलब अगर मिनरल हम नहीं लेंगे या हम विटामिन्स नहीं ले रहे हैं तो we, our body is not able to absorb, digest or absorb these carbohydrate and proteins, or our body will not be able to utilize these nutrients properly as an energy source or as for like the protein utilized for the growth purpose. Okay, so that's why it is very important to take these nutrients, and it is very important to take these nutrients in proportion. Okay, so हम ये अभी जो हमने बात की है बहुत सुपरफिशियल लेवल पे हमने बात की है कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन, फैट से, विटामिन से, मिनरल से। अब हम कुछ कॉम्बिनेशंस ऐसे देखते हैं जो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, या फिर कोई कॉम्बिनेशन ऐसे है जो हमें इकट्ठा, जो दो न्यूट्रिएंट्स अगर हम इकट्ठा ले रहे हैं तो वो हमें अवॉइड भी करने होते हैं। So we are coming to the next slide. Here you can see कि मैंने विटामिन ए लिखा है। ओके, सो विटामिन ए की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, विटामिन ए जिसे हम यूजुअली कहते हैं विटामिन ए इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर इम्यूनिटी, विटामिन ए इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर आईज। ओके, तो हम जब विटामिन ए की बात कर रहे हैं तो विटामिन ए के साथ अगेन विटामिन ई इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Okay, see here I have mentioned vitamin E is very important, which enhances the absorption of vitamin A. मतलब जब तक हम विटामिन ई नहीं लेंगे प्रॉपर अमाउंट में तब तक हमारा विटामिन ए का एब्जॉर्प्शन बिल्कुल भी हो नहीं पाएगा। So that means sorry, if you have a deficiency of vitamin E, then there is no absorption of vitamin A. So that is very, very important. And one main important thing is when they come together, when vitamin A and vitamin E, when we are taking it together, it increases the antioxidant capabilities. It increases the antioxidant capacity of that particular product. And nowadays, everyone I think knows about what are the antioxidants and how important is antioxidants when we are suffering with this pandemic, corona and all. Okay, these antioxidants are important for your healthier gut. It is important for your digestion. These antioxidants are important to keep you away from cancer. It helps you to increase basically the body's immunity. Now again this vitamin A and E का हमने combination देखा है. Now it with iodine. Okay, so if there is a deficiency of vitamin A, then it decreases the uptake of iodine. That means it may create the deficiency of iodine also. Okay, if there is a deficiency of vitamin A, it creates the deficiency of iodine also, which may impact on your thyroid, because iodine is a nutrient which is very, very important for your thyroid gland. And again, thyroid is very, very important for the growth purpose, for the immunity purpose. Okay, growth of the children against thyroid is very important. So again, here comes under the togetherness. Okay, so with vitamin A के साथ हमने दो देखे, vitamin E and iodine. Now again vitamin A increases iron absorption. हमने हमेशा ये देखा हुआ है कि vitamin C आयरन एब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, बट विटामिन सी के साथ साथ आयरन एब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए विटामिन ए इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Okay, now vitamin K, what is the relation with the vitamin K? Relation with the vitamin K, अगर vitamin A बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में लिया जाए तो it interferes the absorption of vitamin K. So जैसे मैंने अपने शुरू में ही कहा था, when I started, I told you कि करेक्ट मात्रा में vitamins या minerals या आपके nutrients लेना क्यों जरूरी है? Because if you increases the quantity, then also it interferes. If you decreases the quantity, then also it will not help you for the absorption. Okay, so here if the vitamin A increases, then it interferes with the absorption of vitamin K, which is very helpful for blood coagulation. Okay, now with the zinc, for vitamin A transport, again zinc is very important. Now here vitamin A is depend on the zinc. Okay, here the vitamin A is depend on the zinc. Okay, so जब तक आपके पास zinc नहीं रहेगा, your body will not absorb vitamin A. So zinc along with vitamin A helps to maintain the eye health. मैंने शुरू में ही कहा था vitamin A is very important for your healthy eyes. But with that again, what is another nutrient which is required is the zinc one. Okay, now going to the next slide, we will see the next nutrients, that is vitamin C. Now again, जैसे मैंने कहा था, vitamin C is very important for iron absorption. Here I have already mentioned it is very important for iron absorption. But with that, if we are taking vitamin C and vitamin E together, then again it is creating the antioxidant defense. It creating the antioxidants properties which increases your immunity. Okay, but if you are taking the supplementation of vitamin C, then the requirement of vitamin E also increases with that. So again, these two nutrients are dependent on each other. I have given certain pictures of the sources here. ओके ये आपके विटामिन ई के सोर्सेस है, ये आपके विटामिन सी के सोर्सेस है. आई थिंक एवरीवन नोज विटामिन सी के सोर्सेस क्या क्या है. ऑल योर सिट्रस फ्रूट्स आर विटामिन सी, योर पपाया इज विटामिन सी, okay, your broccoli has vitamin C, guava has vitamin C, tomato is there. Okay, these are the sources of vitamin C, and the sources of vitamin E is again all these spinach, fortified cereals, these vitamin E ke sources I have given in previous slide. Here the sources of iron is there. Okay, like all non-vegetarian items, pork, liver, clams, then potatoes, spinach, beans, fortified cereals are there, which are the sources of your iron. Here one more point I have to add. When we talk about vitamin C, you have to keep this in mind. I think in our previous lecture also one of our nutritionists told this, but just want to remind you or repeat this, that vitamin C has to be taken under a normal temperature. Okay, जैसे काफी लोगों को आदत होती है नींबू पानी लेते हैं early morning, they are taking a lemon water in a lukewarm water or in a hot water. So what is happening there? You are destroying vitamin C from that lemon. So vitamin C usually is taken in its normal room temperature one. Okay, okay, whenever you are adding your lemon into during the cooking, it is destroying vitamin C. So इसीलिए पहले जैसे मतलब in specially in Hindu thalis, it is lemon is given, a dash of lemon is given, or usually in the restaurants also the dashes of lemons are also given with the normal food, so that you should get the vitamin C in its normal form. It should not be added during the cooking. Okay, going to the next. Now the relationship of magnesium with the nutrients. Magnesium is again an important nutrient which helps the body to form connective tissue in the bones It helps for the blood clotting. It helps to develop your sexual hormones. So it is also equally a very, very important nutrient. But again, it has an interrelationship with the other nutrients. So it has a interrelationship with the B1, that is thiamine. So magnesium, vitamin B1, magnesium is required to convert thiamine or in its biologically active form. मतलब you can say thiamine अभी सोया हुआ है, उसको जगाना है, and you have to tell the role of that thiamine. The body has to tell the role of its thiamine. So you require a magnesium for that. It's their interrelationship. So magnesium's role is thiamine, magnesium with vitamin B1. So thiamine को जगाना, it's magnesium's role. Okay. So जब तक magnesium वो काम करेगा नहीं, thiamine will not be into its active form. Okay. Then vitamin D. So what is the role of vitamin D? Again, for vitamin D, to activate the vitamin D, activation of vitamin D, again magnesium is required. So what is the role of magnesium? To activate vitamin B1, to activate vitamin D. Okay. And if there is a deficiency of both, which in vitamin D की भी deficiency and magnesium की भी deficiency है, then it increases the risk for cardiovascular disease, diabetes, metabolic disease, and skeletal disorders, because vitamin D is equally important for the bones. Okay. Then magnesium is equally important for release of the hormone insulin, which is very, very important in case of diabetes. Okay. So if there is a deficiency of both these two, then the person may at the risk of all these diseases. Now going to the next slide, that is calcium. Okay. So again, calcium की जब भी बात होती है, I think now everyone knows for calcium absorption, vitamin D is very important. और vitamin D का source कहाँ से आता है? Majorly sunlight. Okay, majorly sunlight. So with vitamin D, again, vitamin K is important. Supplementing with calcium and vitamin D. जब भी हम vitamin K is coming with the calcium and vitamin D, it improves the bone health. मतलब now, when we are thinking about our bone, we need to keep this in mind that not only calcium, not only vitamin D, vitamin K is also equally important. It improves your heart. It improves your metabolic health. It increases your metabolism. That means calorie burning or utilization of nutrients. Okay, so again, important is vitamin K. Now, what is the relationship of calcium and potassium? Again, the potassium enhances the calcium reabsorption. Okay, potassium is again a mineral. जब हम बात करते हैं sodium and potassium की, so potassium enhances the reabsorption. अब ये potassium किस किस में होता है? So the sources of potassium are all your vegetables, especially the leafy vegetables. Banana is a good source of potassium. Okay, I have given in next slide, I think, the sources of potassium. But again, for calcium absorption, reabsorption, it is very important to have potassium in a correct amount. Now, sodium. Excess sodium enhances the calcium excretion. तो जहां हम पोटेशियम की बात कर रहे हैं कि पोटेशियम एनहांस करता है, सोडियम, कैल्शियम अगर हमने ज्यादा मात्रा में, एक्सेस मींस व्हाट इज एक्स्ट्रा, ज्यादा मात्रा में अगर हमने सोडियम ले लिया तो it decreases the calcium absorption. इसलिए usually even the doctor suggest the person who is suffering with the osteoporosis or any bone issues, डॉक्टर उनको सजेस्ट करते हैं कि नमक कम खाना है. Why? Because it कैल्शियम का जो एक्सक्रीशन होता है, मतलब कैल्शियम बॉडी से निकल जाएगा बाहर ज्यादा अमाउंट में. ओके, तो इट इंक्रीजेस द कैल्शियम एक्सक्रीशन. ओके, so through urine or through feces, it may go out, the calcium may go out from your body. Now, what is the relationship of calcium and iron? Still many of the researches are going on this topic, okay, what is the relationship of calcium and iron, but few of the researchers are still saying this, okay, excess of calcium intake interferes with the iron absorption. Okay, excess of calcium intake interferes with the iron absorption. So if the person is anemic, especially, that person need to take care of how much calcium he or she is taking in her diet. Okay, this is the researchers are still going on this, but if the person is anemic, then that person has to, okay, अगर आपका हीमोग्लोबिन कम है, अगर आप एनीमिक हो, तो आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि कितना कैल्शियम आप ले रहे हो आयरन के साथ. ओके, यू शुड नॉट take these two things together. Like if you are on a supplementation of iron की टैबलेट ले रहे हो या आयरन का कोई सप्लीमेंट ले रहे हो, आपको ध्यान में रखना है आप उस टाइम पे कोई भी at least together उस टाइम पे when you are taking that tablet, you are not taking that tablet with a milk. Okay, you have to give at least minimum 1 to 2 hours gap in between that tablet and the milk intake. क्योंकि काफी बार हमें काफी सारी टैबलेट्स दूध के साथ लेने की आदत होती है, या टैबलेट ले लो एंड इमीडिएटली आफ्टर दैट यू कैन हैव मिल्क, बट मिल्क इज द हाईएस्ट सोर्स ऑफ कैल्शियम, एंड इफ यू आर टेकिंग अ आयरन टैबलेट, देन that calcium will not allow iron to be absorbed in your body. Okay, now going to the next, that is sodium and potassium. Here I have given certain sources of potassium. Okay, as I told you, sodium potassium are again a very very important nutrient which helps you to maintain a body's balance. Okay, which helps you to maintain your health, which helps you to maintain your blood pressure. But again, the important is these two nutrients should be together. Okay, and how much amount you are taking is very very important. The right potassium to sodium balance increases even the bone health through decreasing the excess excretion of calcium. As I told you in earlier slide also, potassium is very important nutrient which saves for excess excretion of calcium. So again, it is important for the bones. Here I have mentioned certain sources of potassium. I have not mentioned the sources of sodium because everyone knows that the salt is the major source of sodium. Other than salt there are, but majorly salt is a source of sodium. But avocado, banana, potato, spinach, citrus fruits, fish, beans, these are the sources of potassium again. Now, phosphorus again is an important nutrient, and when we talk about the phosphorus with the calcium, the high level of calcium supplementation decreases phosphorus absorption. Okay, so phosphorus is again equally important for the bone, okay, like a calcium. But अगर हमने calcium बहुत ज़्यादा मात्रा में ले लिया, तो again it decreases the absorption of phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus absorb ही नहीं होगा body में. So again there should be a proportion of calcium and phosphorus का भी हमें proportion रखना बहुत जरूरी होता है, and that proportion should be 1:1. Going to the next slide. Now these are interrelationship with all basic nutrients or few of the nutrients. Okay, इसमें I thought so that I should include this also, which is a very very important, that because everyone asks these questions, whether can we drink tea with our breakfast, or I have observed this with my clients also. Many of clients has a habit to take their tea or coffee with their breakfast. Okay, is it correct or not? Okay, तो मेरे जो client है, तो I usually tell them that this is not a good habit to take their tea or coffee with their any of the meal. Okay, because tea or coffee has a substance called tannins, which is a phenolic compound. इसे हम normal भाषा में antioxidants भी कह सकते हैं. These are really important antioxidants, which usually, क्योंकि हमने green tea लिया हुआ है, हमने बहुत सारे काढ़े बनाए during the pandemic, then we are talking about tea, coffee also. Nowadays, even the sports persons are appreciating coffees. But this tannin or this phenolic compound interferes with absorption of few of the nutrients, especially iron absorption. It interferes with the iron absorption. So I'm not saying that taking a tea coffee is bad. Taking a excess tea coffee is not good for health, but in a proportion, taking a tea coffee is not bad. It is good. It is providing you antioxidants, but taking a tea coffee with your meal or with your breakfast or with your any of the meal is not advisable, because it is interfering with your nutrient absorption. सुबह का breakfast आप ले रहे हो, which is your first meal, and आप सोचते हो कि breakfast तो मेरा first meal है, so and usually it is said that breakfast should be like a king. बट अगर आप उसके साथ चाय कॉफी ले रहे हो तो आपका न्यूट्रिएंट एब्जॉर्प्शन तो वहीं खराब हो गया ना. So it is advisable not to take your tea and coffee with your any of the meal. So what we learn from all these things? So basically what we learn, our diet should be a balanced diet. What we learn is that our diet should be a proper balanced diet, where we need to include all the nutrients, that there should be a carbohydrate, there should be a protein, there should be a vitamin, fat, there should be a vitamins, there should be, again, when we are talking about fat is also equally important for the absorption of certain vitamins, fat soluble vitamins. The name itself is saying that is a fat soluble vitamin. मतलब fat के बगैर तो वो soluble ही नहीं होंगे, वो dissolve ही नहीं होंगे, then the body will not be able to utilize it. So that's why again equally the fat is important, then vitamins are important, minerals are important for the digestion, and that too in a correct proportion. Okay, so yahan there is a meal plate where it is mentioned these are the carbohydrate sources, protein sources, then vitamins and minerals. तो जितनी कार्बोहाइड्रेट की मात्रा हम ले रहे हैं उतने ही vitamins and minerals की मात्रा हमें लेनी है. Okay, so when we are dividing our meal plate, then 25% if we are taking carbohydrate, okay, not 25%, more than that, then equal amount of vegetables and fruits we have to eat in a day. It is very, very important. Okay, so what is the today's healthy tips are that well balanced diet including full food from all groups or nutrients, all groups in the sense cereal, pulses, vegetables and fruits, milk and milk product, oils, fats, everything, and then engage in a regular physical exercise is very important, because jab tak you will not burn out these food product till the time the body is not going to utilize these nutrients. So burning of these food products with your physical activity is very, very important. Then keep always a positive attitude while eating or while doing your exercise or overall in a day, so that your stress level should be on a lower side, and keep smiling always. So this is regarding the today's lecture. And we dietitians, we nutritionists, health coaches are there to guide you all regarding all these things. That means how much you have to eat, in how much quantity you have to take, exactly in what combination you have to take your diet. So I will request everyone that please avail this facility and kindly join our community, that is Nutri Expert community through mHealth. Thank you so much. Yeah, continue, Dania.
Thank you, Ashwini. That was such a wonderful session. Very informative. I'm sure all of us, all the audience here has thoroughly enjoyed listening to simple and easily given information regarding how food, what we take daily basis. हम अक्सर ऐसी इतनी सब डिटेल में नहीं सोचते, खास करके the layman, जो common man है, they just tend to not concentrate on किस तरह से कौन सी चीज ज्यादा, कौन सी चीज कम लेना है और कौन से कॉम्बिनेशन में लेना है. तो बहुत सारी ऐसी न्यूट्रिएंट्स है जो हम खास करके लेते ही हैं एज अ इन अ कॉम्बिनेशन, जैसे दाल चावल है उसका भी कॉम्बिनेशन गिव्स अ वेरी गुड एब्जॉर्प्शन। तो उस तरह से बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं। सो आई वुड वांट द audience to ask any queries if you all have. We are all here to answer your queries. I hope you all have enjoyed the session. Thank you, Ashwini. It was really wonderful. Yeah, any queries, please unmute and you can ask the queries. Anybody? किसी को भी कोई चीज इस रिगार्ड से पूछना है या वेट लॉस चैलेंज से रिगार्ड से कुछ पूछना है, एनीथिंग व्हिच यू वांट रिगार्डिंग योर ओन हेल्थ गोल्स, अगर आप कोई चीज से इशू फेस कर रहे हैं, may not be this topic,
Yeah,
but
you
or
you
भी
can
कुछ
ask the question which
topics
is not
हैं,
related
any
to
other
this
question
topic.
we will
Hi, Divya here. Ashwini ma'am, I wanted to ask that people are now, they immediately start, especially after COVID, multivitamins are being taken frequently. Like without doctor consent, now people have started taking multivitamins. So are they really necessary, or we can do it with diet?
Yeah, actually my question also, the same query even I
Or we
had.
can prescribe to our clients. Like,
Yeah.
do we really need to prescribe, or we can balance it with a diet?
I think see, first we need to check our diet. We need to do the self analysis whether our diet is sufficient to complete our nutritional requirement or not. Just many of the times it has been observed that even the people are not eating 2 fruits, which the nutrition is saying कि minimum 2 फल तो दिन में खाने ही खाने हैं. But are we really eating 2 fruits every day? And that rule should be for the every day. Okay, जब हम ये कहते हैं हम 2 दिन उसको करते हैं, 3rd day पे हम भूल जाते हैं उसे करना. Okay, so we need to do this self analysis, and I will suggest that go with your regular and natural products rather than going for the supplements. After that also, if you really feel that the supplements are required after doing some clinical analysis, then yes, you can go for the supplements, but with either the doctor's advice, or nutritionist also can advise the supplements, but she has to first check the diet of that client or a person, and second is the clinical assessment is very, very important before suggesting any of the supplement.
Yeah, that is true. I think Ashwini, that's yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, वही है कि the food has to be in a proper balance. हर चीज लो, जैसे आपने बताया बैलेंस डाइट का जो प्लेट है, उससे रिगार्ड्स में अगर हम कंज्यूम करेंगे वेजिटेबल्स, फ्रूट्स एंड डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स एंड एवरीथिंग, हर चीज हर बैलेंस में है. इसीलिए तो न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट are there to guide you, because at times a lot of people don't know that cake protein क्या है और carbohydrate क्या है. Many people are unaware about it. So when you consult a nutritionist, this is the most important aspect which is discussed, which is thrown light, मतलब एक उसकी awareness ज़्यादा आती है, isn't it, Ashwini?
Yes, and my today's topic was only just to like a eye-opening kind of a thing, that this is also one of the criteria. Matlab, look, nowadays what people is doing, people are reading Google researches and somewhere some reading articles and all, and they are just following the diet. No, it's not like that. It's I wanted to just tell them that these are also the things which is behind these normal carbohydrate, proteins and fat के पीछे बाकी भी छुपे हुए चीजें हैं that one expert can suggest you over it.
Yeah, absolutely right. और जब तक ये चीज का बैलेंस नहीं रहेगा, it's clients tend to ask us, अब मैं ये भी कर रही हूँ, ऐसे भी कर रही हूँ, फिर भी अफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है या हमारा वेट लॉस नहीं हो रहा है. बट ये छोटी छोटी चीजों को जब इग्नोर कर देते हैं, एंड ऑल्सो आई वुड ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंस ये भी एक चीज है कि lot of things, as you said, is available on Google, right? अब हर एक जन जो है देख लेता है डाइट प्लान, सो बिल्कुल ऐसे ही मिल रहे हैं on the internet. but still there are people who are suffering. There are people who are having certain diseases, right? So उस चीज को address करने के लिए भी it's important कि भाई what is it? It's not only about the diet, it's also about a lot of other things which go along with the diet. Maybe emotional quotient is there, stress levels are there, and many other things which need to be taken care of. So we are all here for resolving such issues.
Hi, I'm Sunita. I wanted to ask you, I am 60 plus and my metabolism is not very good. So I'm not able to eat much and still I gain weight. And secondly, do I need some vitamin supplements or not? Like calcium or multivitamin?
Sunita ma'am, see, it is very difficult to say on it, as I told you, because the clinical assessment is very, very important to tell you anything about the requirement of the supplements. Okay. And not only the clinical assessment, even your dietary pattern, overall your physical activity, everything we need to assess, and after that only we can able to tell you whether really the supplements are required and why your metabolism. See, metabolism is low might be because of your age. One of the age factor is also one of the reason where the metabolism goes down. But what kind of diet you need to take with that lower metabolism, so that we can increase your metabolism a little bit with few dietary changes or including few of the physical activity, that we can able to suggest only when we have a personal consultation with you.
Yes, Sunita ji, she is absolutely right. Offhand, we cannot just suggest things. काफी चीजें देखकर और assessments करके ही पता चलता है on one basis कि आपको किस चीज की requirement है.
I think Gaurav has one question.
Yeah.
Gaurav, you have one question?
Yeah.
Not sure if this is relevant for the entire group, but like I have a left knee injury. So like the doctor said to improve my muscles like quads and hamstrings, etc. So I read a lot around like for building muscles, you need to be on a calorie surplus diet versus like to lose weight simultaneously, you need to be on a calorie deficit diet. Are both possible together, or how to go about it? I mean, because I'm not sure. What to do in this way, because I'm overweight. I want to lose weight as well, but I want to get my knee back as well. So, what's your suggestions around that?
So, Gaurav, actually, we need to check, as I told Sunita ma'am also, that we need to check your overall activities in a day. What kind of activities currently you are able to do after your knee injury. Okay. And depending on that activities, we usually decide the calorie requirement. Okay. And after deciding the calorie requirement, and that too, whether you want to gain a weight or you want to lose, as you said, you want to lose a weight. So all these criteria comes under, and then we decide the calorie requirement. And with that, once the calorie requirement is decided, on the basis of that calorie requirement, we usually decide the protein requirement, fat requirement. And that too, if any particular condition, means I don't know what is the reason behind your knee injury, so we need to check that also, and accordingly whether you require a little higher amount of proteins or not, and you are able to complete that requirement with a natural products or not. Everything we need to check it, and then only we will be in a position to suggest you something over it. But currently, if you have a knee injury, yes, your doctor is correct. You need to lose a weight if you are overweight. So that will even help you to recover from your knee injury.
Got it. Thank you.
Also, I would like to add to this, Gaurav, is that that point which Ashwini also covered, that you may need extra protein, because protein is, the most wanted nutrient for muscle building. और जब आपका muscle build up होगा, तो that will be with extra with correct protein intake. And when your muscles start building, your fat loss starts to happen. So दोनों चीज अगर simultaneously अगर हो जाए ना, fat loss and muscle building, that is when that ideal kind of situation comes where you will be able to lose weight also, and then automatically your knee injury also will be taken care of. And of course the exercises which you do need to be taken care कि अगर ये injury है तो वो उससे related आपको exercise करनी होगी so that it does not harm your injury any further. So everything has to be connected to each other and then taken care of.
Sure, got it. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Thank you so much, Dania, and thank you so much, Ashwini, for wonderful session.
Thank you, Monica ma'am.
So we will be here again on Friday, right? Till then, bye-bye. Take good care of yourself.
Bye.
All of you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, any more questions you all have, you all can post it on the groups in whichever groups you all are. We can address it there also. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.